How to identify rare stamps. The first step in identifying if a stamp is rare is to evaluate the condition of the stamp. Its conservation can be expressed broadly using three terms: intact, used, or damaged. An intact piece means it is not visibly visible to the naked eye without the aid of a microscope. Imperfections. A used stamp. It has some small imperfections, like a little crease in the corner. A damaged stamp has many imperfections visible to the naked eye. Large folds, holes, abrasions or stains result in the devaluation of the piece itself. If you have a used or damaged stamp, it can be worth up to 70% less than an intact one in perfect condition. For example, the cent issued in 1908, depicting Benjamin Franklin. In the philatelic market in perfect condition it is worth $15,000. But if it has creases, cuts or oxidation, the same piece, issued in the same year, it can drop in value to a few thousand euros. Once this check has been performed, take a closer look at the rubber of the stamp. The paper's surface must be intact, without visible oxidation or creases on the surface. A well-distributed and more complete gum makes a stamp more valuable, compared to one that has cracks or missing parts, such as this 25-cent US dollar stamp from 1865. Depicts a President Lincoln, printed on a surface still in perfect condition, making the piece worth $160. Another feature to evaluate on the surface is whether the stamp was stamped or not. In fact, the stamp prevents the piece itself to be reused for mail delivery, and in many cases, but not all, this stamping decreases the value of the piece itself. Drawing can often determine whether you have a valuable stamp on hand. For example, a piece which celebrates a particular historical event. It means that it was issued in limited copies, commemorating the event. From the drawing it is often possible to trace the place where the stamp was issued. The historical importance of a country can increase the value of the piece. For example, in this 2-cent stamp from 1907, the event of the first permanent English settlement in America is depicted at Jamestown in 1607. A print that is now worth hundreds of dollars. It also controls the centering of the drawing. Which is more important than drawing? The position of the vignette, if centered perfectly with respect to the sides, can increase its value quite a bit. A trick to understand it is to turn the stamp backwards and see if the cartoon is perfectly centered. The serration. It's another feature that can help you in your search for a rare and valuable stamp. These are those small semicircles placed at the end of the stamp, then on a sheet of paper where they are printed. They divide one piece from another, better known as perforation. The size of the serration. It can tell you if the stamp was properly separated with a clean cut. The odontometer. It is a useful graduated tool, which will allow you to correctly measure the distance between the holes aligned along the tear line. The print run in the philately market often also determines its rarity. If a stamp was printed in a limited quantity, then it is possible that there are fewer than average in circulation. Then the piece, it will have a higher value than the face value that is printed on the stamp itself. For example, the 1-cent US dollar stamp, representing Benjamin Franklin. It was issued in 1868. And to date only 2 examples are known in circulation. A very small print run, which raises its value to $3 million. The printing error. In many cases it can help you find great value in your hands, due to mistakes and errors contained in drawings or writings, which were not discovered in time by the controllers of the issuing bodies, and then issued into production and sales distribution. For example, one of the most famous incorrect stamps. It's the inverted Jenny. The most famous example of U.S. airmail. At the center of the cartoon, a biplane appears in reverse flight, while in the majority of the print run of that piece, the same plane normally flies belly down. A trivial mistake, not discovered in time, but which increases its value by 24 cents to over $2 million. If you think you have a valuable rare stamp on hand, our channel will be able to help you identify its value in general. But if you want to have a more accurate estimate of its value, have it seen in person at a shop that deals in philately near you. A philatelic expert will be able to view the piece live, evaluate its state of conservation, and the presence of any valuable characteristics. Another help. You can get it by visiting the stamp exhibitions, where many collectors exhibit their albums, indicating the market shares of the various stamps.